Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Today, with the supply chain in disarray, people, you, men, going to be wearing women's shoes? You better stay tuned for this one. Alright guys, so before I get started on this, I want to huge shout out to my man, Seth Werfel. Thank you so much for the coffee. I greatly appreciate it. For those of you who want to support my coffee habit like Seth, network is buymeacoffee/tennis spin. Thank you in advance. Huge shout out to you, Seth. Appreciate it very much. All right, so with the supply chain in disarray, shoes nowhere to be found. I mean, I looked on myself online and I was like, what the heck is going on? They only have men's size 7s and 7.5s, and basically it says only. So you guys ain't gonna squeeze your fat feet like mine in no 7.5. I know that. So we're going to do a little size charting here because my man Tom Wang wrote me and said, let's see, come on, Tommy boy. Okay. Tom writes, with the shortages today, would you be able to do a video on men's buying women's shoes and vice versa and what to look for? It would help us open up more options when replacing tennis shoes. For example, does different brands have different mapping between men and women's sizing? Are there any fit differences between men version and women version? Narrow versus wide. Thanks, Tom. Well, Tom, that brings up a great subject, and that's a great question. In the past year, I have seen more women buying men's shoes. I rarely see a man buying a women's shoe. I've seen maybe like a young teenager with smaller feet buying a women's shoe that's kind of neutral. So I'm not talking about red heels or nothing like that, but since I am in the tennis shoe industry, you can call me the Al Bundy of tennis shoes. For those of you of age, you know what I'm talking about. Okay? So, first thing we're going to do. This thing was made in the 1920s. It's called a sizing chart. You stick your feet in here and you check the size that you are. I repeat, this is from the 1920s, okay? This was invented then. It's 100 years freaking old. Can you believe that? It looks like it, doesn't it? Okay. Anyways, so I'm just going to go over this really quickly with you. The black side is the men. The gray side is the women, okay? In its simplest form, you stick your right heel back here, as it says, right heel, okay? When you get up to your size, you can tell that a men's 10 is equal to a women's 11, okay? So according to this thing, it's a one size off difference. Now, from my experience, this is incorrect. Because from all the research that I've done, the one size difference only works if you're buying flats or high heels. So for those of you guys who want to buy some women's shoes in flats or high heels, it's a one size off. So if you're a 10, you buy that red heel in an 11. Okay, well, you ponder that one. Anyways, okay, now, let me just show you one quick thing, okay? I'm going to put this down and measure my fat feet, okay? Check it out. Right heel, okay? Right. Putting it down. Taking my shoe off, okay? Look, bam, okay? Now, according to this, in the black, I'm a 10.5. I'm right on the dot of 10.5. Therefore, I could probably get an 11. But if I'm wearing a woman's shoe, I'm an 11.5. Probably might be a 12, okay? So, if I'm wearing red heels, I'm probably going to get a 11.5. Those red pumps will look cute on me. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I've never tried before, by the way, but you know, there might be a day. Okay. Now, examples of sizing here. I have a women's 9.5, men's 8. From my own experience, these two should look fairly the same. Got my cotton candy. That looks pretty damn close. They're slightly different shoes, but that's pretty damn close. Right? Right, guys? Here, I'll show you here. I'm going to flip it over to the bottom, too. Take a look at that. That's pretty freaking close. And these K-Swisses are definitely a little wider, just naturally, just the way they make them. So they fit more wide-footed people. So if you're an 8, if you're a men's 8, you can get a 9.5. In athletic shoes, it's about a 1.5 size to up to a 2 size difference. So in casual shoes, 1-to-1, if you're an 8, get a 9 in women's. If you're a 9 in women's, get an 8 in men's. In athletic shoes, though, we got to calculate 2 sizes, okay? Men's 8, women's 10, women's 9.5, okay? So remember that. Athletic shoes are a little different than red heels, okay? The other thing that we have to note, though, is the widths are different. The widths are different, okay? So let me show you something. So the difference between the B and the D is that obviously the D is going to be wider because it's for a man. B is going to be narrower because it's for a woman. The difference between B and D is actually, check this out, it's 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch wide, okay? So if you're going to buy a woman's shoe, hopefully you have a narrow foot, because I know my fat foot ain't going to be getting into a B width. So if you're lucky enough to find a woman's shoe in your size, try it on and see if it fits you. Okay? Guys, good luck with the shoe hunting. And if you find those women's shoes, buy them. Thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.